Let's start looking at the cause and effect argument. As per all my videos, if you need a QR code to get to this lecture because you want to see it on your own time, please scan that QR code. A cause and effect argument is best for topics where understanding the root cause and consequences of this issue is essential. Oftentimes, there's not an inherent solution here, and you're just trying to prove that there is something that is going on. When it comes down to this, the cause and effect is a method that examines the reasons why something happens. These are the causes and the outcomes it produces, the effects of these things. If you are thinking about this argumentative structure, you are looking at introducing the issue, explaining the causes of these issues, and explaining the total effects and impact that that has. When you conclude, the conclusion is slightly different because you're looking at the broader implications of this problem across the world now. When it comes to the structure of this, you introduce, you tell me your causes, the effects, and the conclusion. When we look at the thesis of this one sounds kind of simple, honestly. You have the issue itself, the cause number one and the cause number two, the effects number one, the effects number two, and then the reason why we want to address that root cause of the issue. Ideally, usually it's to mitigate the effects that we see here. An example of this thesis looks at like this. What are the effects of social media on mental health? Let's say that that's our topic. Well, the rise of social media has contributed to increased anxiety and depression among teenagers due to cyberbullying, comparison culture, and excessive screen time. Right? So if we think of our causes here, social media and anxiety, our effects, are cyberbullying, comparison culture, and excessive screen time. We have our causes, we have our effects, and my argument is going to be proving that these causes and effects are linked together. When it comes down to the recommended outline for this piece, the introduction is, again, pretty simple. You hook, you give some background on why it matters. Never forget, you need to have your inquiry question in here as well, and your thematic statement, and then you put your thesis statement in there. When it comes down to the body paragraphs themselves, you'll have the causes and the explanation of how those causes think or work. Remember, you're providing evidence that supports this cause and explanation. And when I say supports, you're not like saying that this cause is a good cause or a bad cause by any means. You're supporting the existence of this cause, right? You want to show how this contributes to the effects that you'll be covering later in this essay. You do this maybe one, two, sometimes even three times, and then you look at the effects and the impact of these effects. And again, we want really strong evidence here. We want to prove these things to be true. So this is where you're going to discuss major effects of these causes, provide evidence showing their significance. You're going to explain long-term consequences. This is where you hammer home the point of like, a change needs to happen. How are we going to make that change happen? Because this is so devastating, okay? When you get to your conclusion, you're going to re-summarize kind of those causes and the effects that had happened and make it brief, right? We don't want to go into a whole nother essay just about cause and effect. Make it pretty brief. But then we want to start discussing the broader implications, and we want to end with some type of a strong final thought. Again, I really like arguments that make us further our thinking. So a reflective thought could look like this. We need more research here in order to move forward. Or you could say, like, you could have a call to action. I would say that's more problem solution based, but really just trying to make your reader think about what might be next. When it comes down to the example essay for here, this is a 2022 IWA essay that was released by the AP seminar. It has it has the notes, the scoring notes associated with it as well. So if you want a strong idea of a cause and effect essay, please take a look at this sample essay, read through it at your own leisure, take a look at those scoring notes and see how this essay was formatted. And maybe if you see something interesting in it, copy the structure. Do something similar. They made a successful argument. You could also follow suit in that successful argument. So that is our cause and effect argument.